But is he in order to do so in total ignorance of the fact that this government has a policy on transport? When a public servant
under what standing order? Are you giving information or you're raising on a point of order?
I am rising on point of order number 105, Mr. Speaker, to compel
Senator Eddie.
It is debate. What is
Proceed,
the anger
Senator
for?
Bonny.
Yeah. My view, if it is wrong, you'll bring yours which is right, isn't it? Mr. Speaker, sir, the government has a policy on transport. And public servants are free to go for other options if they find that policy is not convenient. A public servant moving from Nairobi to a function in the periphery has a public vehicle with a work ticket.
What is your point of order, Senator Bonny?
She is misleading the people that we are using state resources to hire choppers when we know that some of our ministers are millionaires. They can afford their own choppers, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Beth Shengo, proceed to conclude your remarks, please.
Thank you, sir. I'm very sure that Senator Bonny Khalwale, my good friend, the bullfighter,
proceed to make your remarks, Senator Shengo,
knows that I am well educated. When he calls me ignorant, Mr. Speaker, sir, I can't understand which standing order allows him to call me ignorant. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to conclude by saying that I'm also very sure that Senator Bonny Khalwale knows that the transport policy that the government may have does not allow wastage in the government for public resources. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Senator Aaron Cheriot.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I am elated this afternoon listening to members debate the President's speech for the very first time, an opportunity to many of them critique, agree, disagree. Mr. Speaker, I want to begin by lauding the President on very serious departures from the past. For those that have been on the corridors of Parliament for quite a while, you would know that there are many things that have been the hallmarks of presidential speeches which did not feature or were not granted prominence, Mr. Speaker, on that particular day. And of particular note to me, Mr. Speaker, is a reference to the House of a Parliament as a gathering of duly elected representatives of the people, giving an account of what their government, under the leadership of President William Ruto, has been able to do to the people of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, you will note that in the past years we've always been treated to rants and chants of my government, my government, my government. It is a single act of patriotism when as a leader you appreciate and you know that the position of a president is a position of public trust, that has have considered you, that this is an opportunity through which you can lead and make the lives of the people that elected you better. Second and most important thing, Mr. Speaker, is to celebrate and appreciate the fact that in all the 102 paragraphs that form the part of this particular speech, the President is spot on 100%, Mr. Speaker. And he speaks and gives an account of policies, programs, legislative interventions, in terms of funding and other policies, Mr. Speaker, that have been undertaken in the last 20 months, Mr. Speaker, of trying to make the lives of Kenyan people better. Thirdly, Mr. Speaker, this conversation cannot be complete and you cannot have a complete picture. And I know that while Mr. President tried to avoid delving into our past, we know for a fact, Mr. Speaker, that it is the past that informs us of the future. He did not tell the country that he found a tattered economy with only 90 million Kenya shillings in the accounts of Central Bank Kenya, that Kenya was like a baby that had escaped the jaws of a crocodile along River Tana, where Senator Mungatana comes from, Mr. Speaker. That this economy had been battered, had been mismanaged, and things were terribly bad. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I agree with those that have argued before, Mr. Speaker.